Imagine for a moment that we were at war with the country next door. Let's say, for instance, it was Wales. It doesn't matter who started the war, wars are terrifying. Now, let's say another country had sent long-range missiles to Wales, and Wales had already announced that they would use them if they had them. Now, would you be terrified with that? Would you be in a state of terror? Obviously, Wales doesn't have to actually fire the missiles for you to be terrified. It just has to threaten to, and that's terror in itself. Now, translate that to Ukraine and Russia. No matter what you believe, who started the war, it's irrelevant. Britain has just sent long-range missiles to Ukraine. Now, if you're a Russian, would you be terrified by that? Well, I think you would. They don't have to fire them, they just have to threaten to, and terror is the result. Now, terror is defined in British law as terrorism. We have a law against that in the UK. You're not allowed to fund terrorism. So every time we pay money to the government, surely that means we are funding terrorism, because the government is sending long-range missiles to Ukraine, which is terrifying the Russians, and the retaliation clearly is terrifying the Ukrainians. How can we carry on supporting a government who are supporting terrorism, in fact, supplying the very weapons of terror that everybody's frightened about? I think at this point we have to say, hang on, we cannot support this government financially anymore because it's against the law to do so, and obviously it's against our moral and ethical codes to do so. So what can we do about this? What can you do about this? Well, I would suggest that you put your tax money aside and refuse to pay it unless the government can confirm the fact that they're not funding terrorism. Obviously, they can't do this. Unfortunately, they're just going to print more of it, regardless of whether we pay taxes or not. But at this point, we have to stand up and say no.